Hey guys, we're back with our next episode of our Sryth fantasy text-based RPG. Last time we've been doing adventures in Trithic, so we're going to continue on with that. So hey, thanks so much for hanging out and joining me. Let's go. So before we do more adventures, what I want to do is go to my castle and upgrade. There's lots in the southeast by Tridmore, Apple River Castle. Improve first if I can. No, all improved, so we gotta find something new to buy. There's 94 left. Let's see what's at the very end here. Alright, that requires a vase gallery, which I'm not doing, because it requires a trophy hall trophies, which I'm not doing. This requires a winter garden, which I'm not doing. Spirit of Winter. Great Weapons Pack. Ornamental Scimitar. This requires a rack, which I'm not doing. This requires a well chamber, sculpture gallery, grand flower garden, torture chamber. Wow. Why would we have a torture chamber? Watchful art. No, thank you. Network of secret passages. Yes. Secret passages. Cool. Did we already upgrade our bed? I mean, of course we need a payload seller. No living statues, thank you. My arm is killing me back here. Up here. Chamber of the Sun. We go with the clock. Alright, yeah, we did. Alright, so those are my upgrades for the castle. We'll upgrade those and then we'll do more upgrades after we've upgraded those. Till I run out of gold, apparently. Hey, it's candles. Hey, candles. Alright, travel back to Trithic. Southwest? No, it's western. Southwest is Hopwater. Alright, let's save. It's been a long time. And let's hit adventures. Let's start from the top. A chance encounter. Give me something to drink here because my throat's real unhappy right now. Alright, embark. It's a familiar face that greets you as you step out of Griffin's Ledge alehouse, a face you last saw nearly a year ago when you parted ways with Troll Hunter and his company of huntsmen, the face of Tanvar Elmkin. Tanvar seems as taken aback as you are by the chance encounter, and he quickly convinces you to reverse your course and head back into the alehouse. Once inside, he promptly orders 2 flagons of autumn draught and takes a seat in a long wooden bench next to the fire, warming his feet as he catches up with you on all that has transpired since your stint with the company. Tanvar tells you that since the company returned to Trithic almost a year ago, there's been no further hunts. You learn that Jiri's current whereabouts are unknown, though Tanvar believes he's somewhere in the southern part of the kingdom. "We just gave it up, so it seems," says Tanvar, shrugging as he finishes off his ale. "Think you and I saw the start of it all, with what happened on that ridge that day, but who's to say? In any event, he gave extra shares of gold to all of us and told us there'd be no more hunts for a while. The company disbanded and everyone went their own way. I've managed to stretch out my share, and I've been getting to by training some of the town and village militias around these parts. I sure missed the hunt, though. I remember Tanvar's name, but I don't remember, and Jiri's name, but I don't remember the quest. or adventure at all. So, oops. At length, you and Tanbar are prepared to part ways, and the two of you step out in the alehouse and onto the street. Suddenly, Tanbar tells you that he has something for you. I nearly forgot, he claims. Jerry gave it to me before he left, told me to hold on to it lest I ever run into you again. Well, the world as it is, you'd best come with me to claim it now, or it might never see your ends. An hour later, you're standing in a small dwelling not far from the village of Tollbrook's main square. Tollbrook is one of the many towns and villages that dot the landscape surrounding Sryth, and it is here that Tanvar Elmkin has, at least for the time being, settled down. The small two-room dwelling is cluttered with all manner of weaponry and the gear of a huntsman. Tanvar retrieves a tall item standing in the corner, and after wiping off some of the dust that coats hands it to you, you instantly recognize it as a troll bond. Also jeering them with the trolls. Not just any old troll bond, this one, he says as you look over the many intricate engravings that adorn the weapon's sturdy hafts. That's Jirig's weapon. He wanted you to have it. If there's a weapon anywhere in the world more feared by all of trolldom, may the All-Father strike me down. That, my friend, is a fearsome piece. You thank Tanvar for the strap a weighty weapon to your back. You bid farewell to Tanvar and set out from Tollbrook, headed back toward Sryth. You're surprised that Jirig would choose to bequeath his trusted weapon to you. Whether it means that he has given up the hunt for good, you're not entirely certain. And as the gates of Sryth come into view, you wonder if you'll ever cross paths with the man you knew as a troll hunter. Okay, I remember the troll quest. This is a Proving Grounds adventure, yeah? Who's this man? Not wishing to reveal that you're aware of his lurking presence, you begin to casually move in the direction of the tall, slender man garbed in green and grey finery, with whose distant gaze remains fixed on you. You cover nearly half the span that separate you from the mysterious observer. The man slowly turns and slips away, quickly disappearing along the street. Curious as to the identity of the man, you spend just a few moments waiting and watching to see if he will return. When he does not, you resolve instead to continue about your present affairs. Okay, weirdo. Cold winter's nights. Turn mid of arms. In back. A midwinter storm housed furiously, draping a thick blanket of white across the North Broadlands. You've trekked through the heart of the blizzard for many long hours, headed south along a deserted forest road toward the city of Sryth. As the city wind cuts into your exposed face, your thoughts turn to the hot mug of Palo. And the warm glow of the crackling fire, two things you hope to confront before the frigid night is out. Suddenly, a bright flash of blue light in the woods to the west of the road illuminates the snow-covered landscape. The echoing rumble of the thunder accompanies the flash. Without hesitation, you set off to the west, moving quickly through the belt of the tall, snow-covered pines in direction of the flash. Now and again, you hear what sounds like shouting ahead through the trees. Although the sound is somewhat muffled and distorted by the cover of snow, you reach the edge of the wide belt of pine and step into the large clearing. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the center of the overgrown meadow, whereupon you come to rest on the source of a flash and rumble. It is a sight that is altogether unexpected. Surrounding an overturned wagon at the center of the clearing are over a dozen shrieking cave goblins. The foul creatures howl with a malicious glee as they thrust their crude weapons at a sizable figure robed in red, standing atop the overturned wagon. The robed figure is swatting at the goblins with a long wooden staff and is still smouldering at one end. You confront 14 goblins surrounding the wagon and note the charred corpses of 9 of the savage humanoids listed to the ground nearby. The white-bearded man atop the wagon, a mage of some sort by your estimation, appears to be tiring in his efforts to defend himself. You sense that it won't be long before the goblin overpower him. Illusion. Don't use that often. The sudden appearance of the foul horse tissing border range at the edge of the clearing quickly sends the cave goblins into a panic. The cruel humanoids shriek in fear as they slink off into the darkness. When you're certain they're gone, you expel your illusion, and the 4 border rangers rapidly fade from view. The man atop the overturned wagon, a white-bearded, rather rotund individual in red robes, climbs down and moves over to you, wide face decorated with a broad smile. The man introduces himself as Ringol and bows deeply before you. Well met, I dare say not a moment too soon, he says, meeting you in a shoulder cross. Those goblins had me in a bad way there, and let there be no doubt I'd used up the last of my magic on them just before you arrived. Ringol tells you that he was on his way to the northern part of the kingdom when he became waylaid by the winter storm. He then tells you that the goblins set upon him has entered his as he entered this clearing. The horses bolted and the wagon flipped over, as you can see. He frowns. Awful creatures, these goblins are. But on any account, I'd say there's not much more fowler in goblins these days. Well, never mind my rambling. You've done me enough favours already. Come on over to the wagon for a moment. You cautiously trail behind the red robe mage as he approaches the overturned wagon. Ringo digs around in the snow beneath the wagon and retrieves a long, bulging cloth sack. Which he sets at his feet, he loosens the rope that cinches the top, revealing many cloth-wrapped bundles within. He tells you to reach in and select a bundle for yourself. Any bundle you'd like. He laughs heartily. It's the very least I can do, of course. You reach into the sack and retrieve one of the cloth-wrapped bundles. You unfurl the cloth to reveal the heavy oak staff. You thank Ringo for the gift, but he shakes his head and smiles. Thank you, friend. There's a warmer season with folks like you about. Ringo turns to face his overturned wagon, and suddenly blue sparks leap from the tip of his tall wooden staff, warming like fireflies in the frosty air. The cloud of sparkles descend upon the wagon, their colour changing from blue to purple. Suddenly there's a bright flash, and then when the brilliance subsides, the sparkles are gone, but the upturned wagon is now right. Well now, beams the mage triumphantly, let's see if I can round up the team of mine. Ringo inserts 2 fingers in his mouth and whistles 3 times. Moments later, 4 magnificent grey stallions trot into the clearing, stand before the wagon, their eyes resting expectantly on their master. Never has failed yet. Help me hitch them up, will you? That's a good lass. Okay. With the team hitch, Ringo climbs aboard the wagon and takes hold of the reins. The 4 horses stand immediately in the cold. Their harness bells the only sound in the quiet of the wood. I'd offer you a ride, he says, but it seems that our paths take us in opposite directions. Stay warm, be safe, and try to stay out of mischief. Always good advice. Fare thee well. Ringo flicks the reins as you watch as the wagon lurches off along the snowy forest road. You glance around the clearing and then back towards the departing wagon, and you're shocked to discover that it is no longer anywhere to be seen. Somewhere far off through the dark trees, you can barely hear what sounds like a jingle of harness bells. Still puzzled over the strange encounter, you make your way back to the road where you're travelling to resume your long cold trek to Sryth. Oh, there's a quest for you. All very simple. The Thane's Tournament of Arms. Thane Pyrond, the overseer of law and order in the city of Sryth, as appointed by King Renwald of Tisa, has announced that the Tournament of Arms is to be held at the Arena of Blades, located in the sprawling grounds of the Trin Keep. The public is welcome to attend the event, and anyone with skill enough to enter it, as well as a 100 gold token retainer, may attempt to add his or her name to the list. The grand prize is a magnificent gold cup with ruby-studded rim. It's rumoured that Thane is using the tournament to find a champion to suit his own purposes. Learn that the tournament will not feature battles to the death, since such ghoulish entertainment practices are outlawed in all Tisa. Instead, combatants must subdue their opponents in a manner that does not suffer the subdued any lasting harm. The use of magic is not allowed. We require about having your name added to the list as directed by the Trin Keep's Master at Arms. The Master at Arms is a large, heavy-set man with thick greying beard, eyes you critically as you present your request to him. The tournament lists are open to the names of only 64 combatants. These individuals will vie for the title of tournament champion and the valuable gold cup provided by Thane Pyrond. He tells you that all would-be contestants must prove their mettle in order to have their names added to the list. Your 100 gold token retainer is collected and you're led to the small fenced area at the side of the arena with several city guardsmen who set upon testing the combat ability of those seeking to enter the tournament. Listen, I have a house here in Trin Keep, and I help the Thane all the time with stuff. Don't you know me? 2 tall guardsmen approach you and explain that they will test your combat ability inside the fenced-off area. Only a few spots left on the list, you know, says one of them as he taps the hilt of the longsword hanging to the side. In fact, this blade has kept these spots open, and just as well. You can just have any of the rabble that sees fit to pick up a sword and make a mockery of our Thane's tournament. The 2 city guards lead you into the fenced-off area and draw the long swords. Quickly realize the men intend to simultaneously attack you, and you rapidly resume a battle. Ready stands as a small crowd of curious onlookers gather around the perimeter of the fence. You'll not see the list if I'm anything to say about it, sneers one of the guards as they close in on you, prepared to strike. I'm just saying, don't y'all know me? It's Allison. Wow, 2 hits. The 2 city guys were flat to their knees and raised their hands to signal the end of combat. The small crowd gathered around their feet and applauded your display of skill as you helped the 2 men regain their feet. Your wounds are tended by the skilled healer in service of Thane Pyrond. Your stamina points have been restored to full. Well done, friend, said one of the guys, his smile weak and his demeanour shaken. He leads you back to the master at arms, who nods quickly in response to the guy's glowing description of your combat prowess. Your name is added to the tournament list, and you're at once escorted to an area near the contest field in the middle of the arena where the other competitors are waiting. The other competitors are for the most part silent, choosing to keep to themselves, although a few of them extend a quick and cordial greeting to you. The garb of the contestant ranges from lavish, almost flamboyant, to very plain, the nondescript attire of common folk. Most of the entrants are wielding swords of some sort, although a few are equipped with spears, axes, and staves. When at last the final spot in the tournament list have been filled, you are all addressed by Thane Pyrond, who makes an appearance at the edge of the contest field surrounded by the contingent of armed guards. You stand here before me this day in the arena of blades because your skill at arms makes you worthy to vie for victory in the contest of honor, courage, and might, announces Thane Pyrond as he moves through his guards to stand directly before the gathered tournament contestants. And though the list contained the names of 64, today's tournament shall know but one victor. May the All-Father watch over you today, and always let us begin with a test of warriors. As Thane Pyrond turns to leave, he walks to you and meets you in the shoulder, grasps a smile and shakes his head. I should have expected you, as much as to find you among this fierce company. I'd hoped to find myself another champion this day, since one of my position could hardly have too many capable allies. Alas, though, for I fear any present here will be hard-pressed to find victory against you. Thank you. Somebody knows me. Thane Pyrond wishes you luck and then departs. All the contestants, including you, are paired off for the first round of battles, and Trin keeps master of arms. The crowd gathered in the arena of blades erupt in cheers as you and the other 63 contestants walk into the middle of the tournament field to begin the first round of battles. You're soon standing on the edge of the wide square etched into the hard earth opposite your opponent. The master of arms raises his hands high above his head, and a chorus of horns sound from all around the arena, signaling the start of the round. With the roar of the arena crowd echoing in your head, you move into the edge square, prepared to face your opponent in combat. Your first round opponent, a tall city guard from Sryth. He appears to regard you with a good deal of caution as he draws closer, holding his longsword in front of his torso in a defensive manner. The crowd cheers as you tower over the fallen form of the tall city guardsman. Taking gracious bows to the arena spectators, you reach down and help him to his feet. In a show of mutual respect, the two of you meet in a shoulder cross. With the roar of the crowd echoing in your head, you and your opponent move off the field of battle. As you rest and prepare for the next round of the tournament, your wounds and fatigue are attended to by a skilled healer in the service of Thane Pyrond. Your rest does not last long, however, for it is soon time to begin the second round of the tournament. As the field of 64 original contestants, only 32 remain. Looking over the remaining contestants, you see a group of hardened souls will now determine more than ever to see themselves through the victory in his task of arms. Trin keeps master at arms. Again, pairs you off for the next round of the tournament. The crowd gathered in the arena of blades erupts in cheer as you and the remaining 31 contestants walk into the middle of the tournament field to begin the second round of battles. You are soon at the edge of the wide square etched into the hard earth opposite your opponent. The master at arms raises his hands high above his head, and a chorus of horns sound from all around the arena, signaling the start of the round. With the roar of the arena crowd echoing in your head, you move into the edge square, prepare to face off against your opponent in combat. Your second round opponent is a brawny mercenary who wears the emblem of Thane Pyrond on his leather breastplate. He brandishes a long sword with excellent skill as he moves in toward you. The crowd cheers as you tower the fallen form of the brawny mercenary. Taking a Gracious bows to the arena spectator. You reach down to have him to his feet. In a show of mutual respect, the two of you meet in the shoulder cross. The roar of the cat echoing your head and your opponent moving off the field of battle. Alright, only 16 remain. Looking over the remaining contestants, you see a group of battle-hardened stone souls who are now more determined than ever to see themselves through to victory. The crowd gathered and the arena blaze erupts. You're soon standing on the edge of the massive arms. Yes, skip it all this. We've read this. Your third round opponent is a tall man in a blue cape from Galdrag, wielding a short sword. The man approaches you with caution and a blade held at the ready. Go. Yep. We needed a shoulder cross. Gotcha. Okay, other 64. Original, only 8 remain. Trins keeps Master Rod. Again pairs you off for the next round. Your fourth round opponent is a Ryosilian swordsman. The redheaded warrior wears a fitted suit of chainmail and wields a shimmering longsword. He has a wild look in his eye that seems to intensify as he draws towards you. Let's give the pups a show, eh, friend? He laughs as he moves to strike. Sure. Okay. The crowd cheers as you tower over your fallen form of the Ryosilian. Oh my gosh. I've been paired off again. There's only 4 remaining contestants. Oh, green cloak woman, about time. Your fifth round opponent is a woman from Sryth wearing a green cloak and wielding a quarterstaff. She bows deeply to you before assuming the combat ready stance and move slowly in your direction. Cool. But whooped. We need to now shoulder cross. Oh, we're up for the final battle. Only 2 remain. Me and a rugged swordsman. Really? Gonna be a named person? The clamor of the arena crowd is deafening as you and the only other remaining competitor make your way into the field of battle. It has come down to one last fight. You're soon standing at the edge of the wide square etched into the hard earth opposite your opponent. The Master at Arms raises his hands high above his head and a chorus of horns sound from all around the arena, signaling the start of the final battle. With the roar of the arena crowd echoing in your head, you move into the etched square, preparing to face your opponent in combat. The final battle of the tournament is between you and a rugged-looking man from Sryth, outfitted in a sort of leather armor and wielding a short sword. His shaven face bears many scars, and you notice that he walks with a discernible lip. Still, like you, he's made it to the final battle of the tournament, and you're certain that his skill with his blade will provide a suitable challenge. Crowd cheers as you tower over the fallen form of the rugged swordsman. After taking a gracious bow to the arena spectator, you reach and help him to his feet, then show mutual respect the two of you mean the shoulder cross. Shrink keeps Master Ram arrives on the field and congratulates you and the rugged man on his outstanding display of skill. While you wait, the Master Ram, the Thane Pyrond, and his armed escort make their way on the field. The rugged swordsman bids you farewell and then departs. Thane Pyrond arrives in the field of battle surrounded by a contingent of guards. The yellow-bearded Thane smiles warmly and bows before you, thanks you for the skillful and courageous display of combat prowess, and then holds aloft your hand in a show of triumph at the light of the roaring crowd. Then Pyrond flashes your wide knowing smile and shakes his hand. Your father seemed fit to deliver us a true champion this day, he says. A lengthy ceremony is held during which the Thane presents you with an object that was eagerly sought by all the tournament competitors, the gold cup with the ruby-studded rim. This cup was one of the few remaining pieces of the hoard of Zaffel, says the Thane proudly. Take it now, Alasinian, made off for you better in than the dragon breath whose talons it once rested. What is Zaffel? A marauding dust dragon who took up residence in the forest of northwest Tisa. Zaffel was slain by a dragon hunting expedition led by Thane Pyrond of Tisa. By law, the treasure hoard that discovered from the dragon's lair has become property of Tisa's king, King Runroll. But a long-standing rumor has it that the Pyrond's hunting party present the king with only a small portion of the actual hoard. The gold cup of Zaffel. You make your way off the field with Thane Pyrond, surrounded by a contingent of guards that protect the man who himself is an accomplished warrior. When you when you reach the edge of the field, Thane suddenly pulls you aside and speaks to you in a hushed tone, out of the earshot of anyone standing nearby. I suppose the whole premise of my tournament has been for naught, he says, smiling. I hope to find another champion today, but it is no large matter, for I simply have to make certain to call on you twice as often. Well done this day, Alison. Your skill never ceases to amaze me. Then Pyrond bids you farewell before moving off into the company of his guard. You watch as he departs before you make your way out of the arena back into the city streets. Well, there you have it. I haven't got my daily experience bonus. Tagging it. Entering my own. Can I trade anything? Yep. Horsemanship, law, seamanship, thievery, weaponry. Can't train any powers. Conjuration. Elementalism. We'll go with elementalism. Alright. Save it. I think probably an adventure will be longer than 4 minutes, but we got 3 more in this area. Probably when you finish it, like secondary ones will show up. So we'll see about that next time. Thanks so much for hanging out and joining me. Until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Peace.